What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Inning Intermissions. I'm super pumped to be sitting here with a local legend. Go and tell us who you are, man.
Grant Richardson, head coach, Richardson High School.
And I got to be real right now. We just finished up playing you guys, and we won. Oh no, you won too.
We won.
Got the sweep. I don't know where your guys' brooms are, but hey, good job this year, though.
Yeah, it's been so far so good. You know, guys are playing well on a roll. I mean, still got a ways to get to our peak, I think.
Absolutely.
But boys are playing good baseball.
That's good, man. Well, hey, tell us about your coaching career. How long have you been coaching in general?
Well, I started coaching in 2009. 2008 was my last year playing baseball. 2009, I actually went over to Kamiakin as a volunteer assistant coach. Got the assistant job in 2010 with Ryan Carter. Coached there for a few years. In 2012, we won a state title at Kamiakin, and then I actually had a short junior college stint with CBC for about 2.5 months, and then Ben Jacobs retired at Richardson High School.
Okay.
That was kind of my dream job. If I wasn't going to go coach college baseball, coming back home to Richardson High School. So 2013 was my first year. Been here since.
Okay, that's very cool. Awesome. So you got lots of rings, man.
I've been pretty fortunate to be. I was part of the '99, our first state championship squad as a player, assistant coach, and a head coach in 2018.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about your playing career. Very impressive playing career. Tell us your baseball journey from from playing Little League to all the way up.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I can remember, I eat, sleep, drink baseball. Our neighbors, when I was a kid, bless them, we had a batting cage. My dad, scratched together some coins and got a batting cage for me. And I was 9 years old, and I'd go out 6:30 a.m. Make my parents throw, put in the pitching machine and just ting ting. You look back, you go, man, I'd be pretty upset with a neighbor. I wouldn't be, because I'd be like, man, that kid's working hard. But gracious neighbors that allowed us to do that. And so, came to Richardson High School, graduated in 2001, played at WSU for 3 years, got drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, played a few years. Injury kind of ended my career. I did play 2 more years of independent baseball, Texas, South Dakota, and then and that was it for me, and ended up moving on with my life and getting a teaching job. Both my parents are teachers, so that was kind of a natural thing, and I got into it really because I wanted to coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was the best path for me, and so here I am in 2024.
Yes, I love how you gloss over it. I played at WSU. Yeah, I got drafted.
It's been a fun journey, and I met a lot of cool people. I try to think of how many different states I've been to, but it's one of those things that happens so quick, and you look back and go, man, that was a fun journey, but here we are just trying to send some of these guys off on similar journeys.
Absolutely. So I know you played a lot of baseball. If you could pick one favorite memory, I know you probably have more than one favorite. What pops into your brain right now? Favorite memory of playing?
Oh man,
or just in general, even from coaching.
Yeah, the '99 state title when I was a sophomore. That was a fun one. I was fortunate enough to hit in the winning run.
No way.
That state championship game. Yeah, Dude. It was. Again, you look back, you didn't think it was that big of a deal.
That's
man, that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. We had. You had some rough years in my first years of coaching here, and to win a title in 2018, that was a really special moment after a lot of the things that I went through before that. So as far as what takes the cake there, it's probably our 2018 title, and then just getting to see these guys follow through and try to reach that same potential has been a blast.
It was awesome to see you win that title, knowing what you went through. To win that, right? That was a big, and that was hard for me because it's hard for me to root for Richardson. But in that moment, I was like, "Let's go, dude!" So that's great. That's cool. What do you enjoy most about coaching baseball?
Oh, it's every year you get a different batch of kids, right? And we don't have the luxury to recruit kids like a college coach would. So being able to see what you got, see the potential, and really work. It's not always the same journey. One of the things I always try to tell my guys is it's not where you're at now, it's where you end up, right? We're trying to finish at the top. That's our goal every year. This is the first year we've been doing as well as we've done, undefeated at this point, and it feels weird to say that, but we're still not there.
No.
And to try to get the guys to see that, I'm not mad that we won. I see the potential that we have.
Absolutely.
We try to get there and just helping those guys reach those goals. It's I don't know, the story of the stone cutter. That's one of my. I actually read that to these guys the other day. It's not you don't notice anything on the first crack of the stone. The second or the 99th, but the 100th one, it cracks open. Right. But it's all those reps that we've taken day in and day out.
Keep hammering.
Yeah, they absolutely hammer away.
Yep, I love that, man. Well, hey, let's talk a little bit about parents and supporters of a program, right? As a coach, you can probably relate. There's some ups and downs with that. If you were going to give some advice to parents and supporters of the program, even people like in the district or in the building, how can they best support you and your coaching staff here at Richland?
Say go Bombers.
Go Bombers.
It is. And we have a really good culture here at Richland High School. I would argue we have the best parents in the state as well as the best team in the state right now. Our parents right now, they do team dinners for kids the night before every game. Between double headers, I don't know if you noticed, the kids are out there, they got a spread. So parents are getting a spread for them. They got sandwiches in between games. I didn't organize that. It's just a great group of parents that we got that do that, support these kids day in and day out. And I was fortunate to have my parents really involved in supporting the Legion programs, the Little League programs going up, and so I know what parents put into this stuff, and so to have a group of parents like we have this year, and really in the last few years, it's been spectacular.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to your parents for that.
Yeah,
that's big.
They've been great.
Because not all parents are like that, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that coaching to you, obviously we all want to win, right? We want to hang up banners, all that fun stuff, but what do you hope that your players truly take away from their time with you as their coach here at Richland High?
That you always can get a little bit better, right? I always say, don't be satisfied. Always try to get 1% better every day, and it's baseball's it's a funny game, and I listened to you and Chris talk the other day, and try to relay that to life, and you try to do that with these guys. Because if they can get through a season of baseball, man, they've met a lot of challenges that are going to prepare them for life, and so you just try to teach them to build that character and resilience through adversity, and because Lord knows it comes quite a bit in this game of baseball.
Yes, it does, and it finds you when you don't want it to, right?
Oh man, yeah, you bet.
Well, hey, I know I give you Bombers a hard time, right? I have to, being a Pasco guy.
Hell yeah.
But I gotta ask a great question, because I respect what you guys have built here over the years, and I respect you tremendously, obviously. But tell me about Bomber baseball. What sets you guys apart from other programs in the state?
That's a great question. It's a culture thing. It's an expectation. It's not necessarily the win-loss column. I think that kind of takes care of itself when you take care of the things behind the scenes. We just try to do things the right way, have a certain standard. We tell these kids all the time, and a lot of these guys were in the Little League programs around here, or they came to the Little League night, the Bomber night. It has been. So it's really from the ground up. I think Richland's been really fortunate to have awesome Little League programs. And it breeds a good culture from the time that they're 7, 8, 9 years old to get to this point. I remember being a little kid and looking forward to the Richland Bombers, right? And it's weird to say it, but my dad was a counselor and a football coach at Hanford.
Oh, wow.
So growing up, I was kind of I was going to go to Hanford,
Falcon,
and then he came over here as a counselor, and so but looking at my son's 8 years old, right? And so he's always sporting Bomber stuff. And so when we can breed that culture from that young age and have those kids looking forward to it and seeing where they got to get to, I think that has a lot to do with where our program is.
Yeah, that's great. I gotta tell him myself. So my brother graduated from Richland High.
Okay.
And when I moved here, we lived in Richland for 1 year, and I remember standing outside. I think it was before I was outside a fence. I don't know if this was all here back then. I remember dreaming about playing for the Bombers before we bought a house in Pasco. Never happened though,
Would have been the best decision of your life, man.
Oh man, I was so close, right? Well, hey, I know tonight was really cool. It was Little League night here at, is that what you guys call it? Little League night? So they got to run the bases in between games, which is really neat to see. It's always fun to see kids smiling. That's what it's about. But what advice would you give to I know you have an 8-year-old, you said, boy playing ball right now. What advice would you give to a young baseball player?
Keep working hard, man. The sun's going to come up the next day. Kids get real down on themselves. And I mean, to the time I played when I was 25, you get down on yourself, and you hope to mature a little bit and teach these kids those lessons early on that hey, not only the sun's going to come up, you get another at bat, you're only as good as your next at bat. Old coach of mine, Tim Ruane, he'd always tell me that, Grant, you're only as good as your next at bat.
That's good.
So you try to tell those kids that and work harder than the next guy. It's like I tell my son, it's like everybody's at practice. But what are you doing extra? What are you doing to get a little bit better? Because everybody's getting better at practice. You separate yourself by doing that extra work.
1%.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, hey man, I just want to say thank you so much for what you're doing. Not just for Bomber baseball, but just for the community. I met you
too.
I appreciate that. I met you a few years ago at the gymnasium for FCA, so shout out to FCA. I appreciate what you stand for. I know what you stand for is bigger than just baseball and what you're building here, and so it's fun to watch you guys I love to see the little things, the culture you've built, man. So it's fun to see the legacy you're creating beyond your playing days. So good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
I appreciate that. You too. I hope to see you guys again in May.
I hope so too, man.
You guys, I think it's going to happen. MCC breeds good baseball.
It does.
And I think we're going to do a lot of things here going forward.
Well, hey, thanks for doing this. I know this isn't everyone's favorite thing.
No, this is awesome. This is awesome.
So hey, you're off the hot seat though, man. Appreciate
Sounds
it.
good. All right.